If you are flying sub 250, you need to try one of these frames. It's awesome. I finally got all my different configurations here. I got my different weights. The nice thing with this frame is that you can order it in different thicknesses. So I've tested out a whole pile of different configurations now. I think that if you're going to be racing, you would want to get it with the 4mm carbon and the 2.5mm top plate, and you're sitting at 28 grams. If you were to do this in analog version, straight up take the Crux 35 and put the electronics in from it, you'll be able to squeeze it in with a 15mm standoffs, which is my kind of favorite way to do it. I like it just super tight. I designed this drone to be as tight, light and strong as possible that you can do everything with. It can be a bit of a pain in the butt building, so you have to consider that, because it's hard to fit everything in there sometimes. So you want to make sure you got your measurements, that everything fits. But here with 15mm standoffs, you're looking at 31.15 grams. If we were to then take off the 15mm standoffs and throw on 22mm standoffs, so you could fit digital in there, you're looking at 32 grams. And if you were to go kind of in between with some 18mm standoffs, give yourself a bit more room, yeah, you're looking at around 31.5. So the frame for the beefiest version, you're looking at around 30 grams. You could give or take a few depending on the standoffs that you use. And all these versions are available from CNC Madness. So you can choose the thickness of your top plate, you can choose the thickness of your bottom plate. And I specifically wanted to build something that gave you lots of options. I'm always flying sub 250, and one of the biggest problems and issues that I found is when I try different frames, they have different motors, they have different electronics, and then let's say I smash two of them and I could put the parts together, but then the frame doesn't take those electronics. This frame will take, well, at the end of this video, I'll link you to a video talking to you all about this frame, but the nice thing here is that this, I think, could be a great trainer, a great racer for in the sub 250 category to compete with like the tiny trainer and stuff. And with the 4mm carbon, it's going to be strong. You're most likely not going to be breaking this. It's also really tight. Then if we look at the 3.5 thickness, you're looking at 24 grams. So just again, so you can see the 4mm thickness, 28.34 grams. 3.5mm thickness, you're looking at 24 grams. And with the lightest version, you're looking at about 22 grams. So you can get, and from my testing, like the 3mm with the 2mm plate is great. Like this is just a great regular setup. It's pretty durable. I haven't had problems. I haven't broke this, even though I've smacked it around. And I designed this to come out just a little bit bigger than the motor. So instead of smacking your motor all the time, it ends up smacking this. Eventually I'm going to design some bumpers and sliders for it too, because in the sub 250 category we don't have like those really cool looking drones with the bumpers and everything. I feel like we're missing out on a lot of love. And FPV in general, just the way that drones are designed, I've been kind of disappointed. This has been designed to be super tight, so for you to even like hit that camera is pretty difficult. I made these camera mounts that come out a little bit too as like bumpers in front of them, and all the prints for accessories and stuff will always be on Thingiverse for you to print out for yourself. You can build it like this, where you put an action cam on top and put the battery underneath. Like a racing drone, same thing. You can put the battery underneath it, or you can put the battery on top if you wanted to. The top plate has a 20x20 that you can screw in, so you can put the Vista on the top plate if you want it underneath. You can strap the battery either way, on top or underneath. So it really gives you those options. And you can mess around with making like a Cinewhoop. I just wanted to make something that you could kind of just do everything with. You can put these smaller motors on, and when you do, they line up with the arm. You can also put the larger motors on and they won't line up with the arms, so you'll have to wrap them. So that's not like as nice, but at the same time, at least it allows you to basically stick either motor on. You can build it up light, you can build it up beefier. I like to, so even this is 142 grams basically. And if I put this battery on it, I'm sitting under 250 grams with an 850. But I like to fly the 850 kind of just without carrying anything, and it just rips. It feels really good, and you fly a long time. With this kind of setup, carrying an action cam, whatever, a 4S 650 weighs 20 grams less than the 850. So this with this, and it almost feels like you're flying with one of these. So you mess around with the different batteries and the different setups, but it's just, if you're flying sub 250, you can buy a pile of these frames and you can build them in different ways. You can try making yourself a little Cinewhoop. You can make yourself a racer. You can make yourself a freestyler. And that was basically the point. I wanted to be able to have all these different options in a frame that can kind of just do it all. You can really kind of choose your own adventure with this drone, and I just wanted to, yeah, give you guys an update, let you know the weights, because some people asked me about the weights, and I didn't have all the frames. But just taking what, like, I would just get the 3mm with the 2mm top plate. It's strong enough, it's light enough, it's pretty good. Right there with all your screws and standoffs, you're looking at 23.7 grams. So you can easily build something under 100 grams, and it's just, it feels really good. I'm extremely happy with it and excited for more people to try it. Order a few of them. You won't be disappointed. If this is your first time hearing about this drone, you can see my whole idea and everything behind it if you watch the next video. Thanks for subscribing, and if you want to help support me, check out the Patreon. Love you long time.